Namaste. I am Omkar and I'm from Bangalore, India. I'm a yoga teacher, yoga therapist, and been working in the field of yoga from last decade. I've been continuous practitioner of a meditation, and also I've been teaching meditation for the various people. I mostly work in the corporate sector and IT sector, where I deal with many people having stress and related ailments. We call in a fun way it as a computer related ailments because continuous exposure to the computers and continuous exposure to the stress causes a lot of health issues these days. Health issues like high blood pressure, anxiety, health issues like the body cramps, spasms, the health issues which are deep and can occur suddenly. Very suddenly you might have seen some people get sudden cardiac arrest, which is a piled up stress issue. So when we think about this issue, we really need solutions for it. And yoga offers wonderful solutions for the health ailments, stress related ailments. Yoga offers um, beautiful techniques. The science of yoga, which is uh, there from years, thousands of years, has amazing solutions and techniques and remedies for the stress ailments. When I talk about the techniques or elements, all of us are mostly familiar with the practices of the yogasanas, yoga postures. We are familiar with the pranayama techniques. We are familiar with the relaxation techniques. But when the topic about the meditation comes, many times we get hesitated, some sort of hesitation that will I be able to do? If I do meditation, will it be consistent? And if I do consistently, so many thought comes. And if the thought comes, how I will deal with it? I would like to tell you one small story, and then I'll come to the topic of exact meditation. There was a village, and in the village, there was an old temple. And in this temple, there was one attic. So many, old things were kept in the temple. There was an old priest, and he tells young priest that we should clean the attic. We need to have uh, remake it, and we have to remove unnecessary things. So young priest says, okay, one of the Sunday, let's do it. So young priest on one of the Sunday goes upstairs and opens the attics. He removes all the webs and cobs and dust and everything removes. And he sees there is one huge bell. He thinks that there is no use of this bell in the temple. Why we need it? We don't need this much big bell. So he tells the old priest, I got this bell. Do we need it? So old priest says, okay, let's do one thing. Let's clean it. So the old priest starts cleaning the bell. He, with the help of the young priest, and young priest starts, cleaning, removing all the dust, all those spider webs, and then they pour some water on it. Then take some tamarind, and with the tamarind they nicely rub it, and the bell starts shining. As the bell starts shining, they see the bell is really beautiful. It has a beautiful design on it, and it rings really well. So meditation is like that. When you sit for the meditation, initially lots of thoughts will come, lots of disturbances, resistances, mind will move here and there, and all that will happen. The only thing is, which as a yoga practitioner or the one who wants to calm down the mind has to do is to make sure that you sit for the meditation and keep on doing it whatsoever happens. Meditation is the process. When you do it consistently, all this impurity goes away and mind becomes refined. It becomes refined like that bell which I was telling you in the story. Mind, we know, is like a monkey. It runs, and it's not just a monkey. Scripture says that mind is a monkey. It's not just a monkey, it's a drunken monkey. It's not just a drunken monkey, it's a drunken monkey beaten by a honeybee. It's not just a drunken monkey beaten by a honeybee. It's a drunken monkey beaten by honeybee having a sword in the hand. Mind is that fast. It will jump here and there, pick up some nonsense issues, goes here and there, distracts you. And that's quite natural. It's okay. It happens for all of us, it happens. And sometimes these disturbances are very, very gross. Sometimes these disturbances are very subtle. Now, when this thought comes, when the mind plays its game, what matters is how you keep yourself in the witness view. So, meditation is the process which helps you to have that witness view. The witness view towards your existence, towards your physical existence, towards your energy existence, towards your mental existence, towards your intellectual existence, and being in the state of a blissfulness. When I say when we are in the state of a blissfulness, that is the ultimate goal, which is called as ananda. To reach to that state, to reach to that ananda, we have to let go what we are holding within, to let go the negative feelings, negative emotions, any kind of old angers, impurities, any kind of current anger issues, whatever distractions are there, we have to let go. And meditation helps you to let go. Is it that easy to meditate? Yes, it is easy to meditate. What is the difficult thing people face is the consistency. How one can have a consistency when they meditate. Consistency can be developed when you determine that I will do something continuously. There is a rule or a law called as 21 days law. You practice something consistently, it becomes your habit. When you practice that thing for the 3 months, it becomes a continuous nature of your activity. You get results, you start getting results in a 3 months. And when you practice something for 6 months continuously, it becomes your lifestyle. Now, when I talk this, why I'm talking this? Because some of you might think that, oh, meditation, do I need to? Do I have to? So let me say very openly and easily that yes, it will be wonderful practice in the current situation when we are going through this corona COVID-19 pandemic. It is very much essential for all of us to maintain that calm, steady state of the mind, to have that concentrated, focused mind towards our life. If you have more distracted mind, if you take a lot of stress and burdens, then what happens? The stress level increases and other health issues come up. The productivity where you're working will reduce if you carry the stress. So it is necessary to understand this, that yes, meditation should be a part. Rather, I will say with emphasis, it must be a part of your daily routine, come whatsoever happens. If you can't do particular meditation technique for half an hour, 45 minutes, but at least the day when you feel that, okay, I don't have enough time, for 5 to 10 minutes, a simple meditation technique can make a miraculous difference in your day. There are many meditation techniques, but let us understand first what is meditation in the simplest way. There are many scriptural definitions of the meditation. Patanjali in a Yoga Sutra says that Pratyaya Ekatanata Dhyanam, effortlessly dwelling with a single thought. But that effortlessness comes when you put initially efforts. So that's why always before dhyanam comes a dharana. What is the sutra Patanjali says about the dharana? Desha bandha chittasya dharana. Desha bandhasya chittasya dharana. You have to bind your mind to that one object of meditation. Now, when I talk about meditation, we have to bind your mind to the object of meditation. Let us understand what can be object of meditation. It is always said that what you think of, what you contemplate on, you get that energy. So the object of meditation, if you have seen throughout the world, meditation practitioners choose very spiritual, very noble objects, which are universal. For example, Om. Om is the one of the best object to meditate. Another object of meditation can be any your favorite deity, its image of the deity. It can be any japa, the chanting, or a beautiful instrumental music. You can meditate on the any beautiful sunrise, sunset, beautiful moon. There are wonderful meditations. There are meditations designed on the lamp, light. There are meditations which are there on the flowers, like lotus flower or rose flower. There are meditations which one can work on the affirmation, the thought process. You understand the power of your thoughts here. Now, when I talk all this, can anyone choose any meditation practice? Yes, you can. If you are having any spiritual master and it has guided you for particular meditation practice, yes, you can. There is nothing wrong about it. If you are having any kind of issues in your life and you want to work on that issue, one can have a particular designed meditation practice to work on those issues. Can there be universal meditation practices? Yes, there are many universal meditation practices which one can do. Like transcendental meditation is there, twin heart meditation from the pranic energy and pranic healing techniques. There are Reiki meditation. There are various Om meditation is there. There is a meditation technique called a cyclic meditation where you combine the movement and the speed of the body to meditate. There are many dynamic meditation techniques. Whatever you like, whatever suits you, you can choose and meditate. But when I say that, it is very much essential to understand the basic foundation of meditation. As I said, Patanjali says that Pratyaya Ekatanata Dhyana, effortless dwelling with a single thought. Ekatanata means fine tuning. This Ekatanata you get when you practice consistently. So whichever meditation practice you choose, you practice consistently. Now suppose I choose Om meditation and if I want to practice it, it is my duty, as I said, that I should make sure that I'll practice it for 21 days, 3 months, 6 months, and it becomes a part of your life. As you start getting results of the meditation, you see that the mind becomes so uh, addicted and attracted towards the meditation practices that you feel your day becomes um, imperfect without practicing the meditation. Personally, I feel that one has a freedom and choice to practice whichever meditation. But before meditation practice, there are certain common norms and rules one has to understand. That you can't practice meditation with a full stomach or heavy, you have eaten heavy meal and then you want to sit for the meditation. It is always good to practice empty stomach. Traditionally, preferable time for the meditation is early morning. When you get up early, you get fresh and sit for the meditation is really recommended. But if you can't, some days you can't, then late evening before going to the bed or any evening time when you are peaceful, when you have enough time. It is always recommended to do some sort of stretching, some loosening before meditation. So body will have good flow of energy, the blood flow will be good throughout the body and you can sit. You can sit constantly in the meditative posture. As I said that it is difficult for many people to sit for the meditation for half an hour or they think, oh, half an hour is such a long time. If you can't sit for the meditation half an hour, at least start with a 5 minutes. Out of 24 hours of the day, 5 minutes one can definitely spend for the meditation. After 5 minutes, gradually increase it to the 8 minutes. Then make it 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And ideally, it is recommended that one must practice minimum half an hour meditation per day, ideally in a long term. And when I say that half an hour, please don't worry that, oh, am I supposed to do now half an hour? Today we are going to do a simple meditation for 10 to 15 minutes. When we are understanding these aspects of the meditation, we saw that it is what matters in a meditation is a consistency. We saw that what matters in a meditation is the awareness factor. We saw that whatever happens, however many distraction happens, if I sit constantly, then it works. Patanjali says that Satu Dirghakala Nairantaryam Satkara Asevita Druda Bhumihi. Dirghakala, long term, Nairantarya, regular, with faith. Satkara means with faith. Asevita Druda Bhumi. Whenever you practice, it becomes a abhyasa. It is essential. Abhyasa means the practice. It is essential for us to have a practice. There is nothing complicated in a meditation one has to go through. It can be as simple as a breath awareness. When you observe the breath can be a wonderful object of meditation when you connect to the breath. That's what we do in many of the wonderful Buddhist meditation practices, where we associate ourselves with the breath, we connect to the breath. And because it is constantly with us, anytime, any place, if you don't have any sound or if you don't have any picture for the meditation, just sitting for the breath can make a lot of difference. Observing the breath, observing that flow of the breath. And when you observe the flow of the breath, it makes a huge impact on your mind. Initially, all this disturbing thought comes up. And then you start watching them, let them pass through, let them pass through, let them pass through. Never resist any thought. Let them come and go. And when you never resist thought and when you let them come and go, what happens? The intensity of the thoughts reduces. Just like the waves of the ocean, the waves come and go. Waves come and go. Similarly, thoughts come and go. And that makes a lot of impact on your calmness of the mind. Bhagavad Gita says, Shanai Shanai Ruparamet Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samstham Manakritva Na Kinchidapi Chintayet. Shanai Shanai, slowly, slowly. Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya, with your intelligence. Though in meditation you are working on your mind, you are letting go the thoughts, but your intelligence is constantly watching, letting the process of letting go. You are aware, Atma samstham manakritva. Atma samstham, when your mind comes to the state of calmness. Na kinchidapi chintai. Do not entertain any other thoughts then. It is initially a practice and then it is an effortless practice. From dharana, you go to the dhyana. It is essential to have that ekatanata. Ekatanata means tuning with a one thought or one object or one sound of meditation. The object of meditation, one thought. As I said initially, suppose if I'm meditating on the lotus flower. When I think of the lotus flower, I should not think of the rose flower or any other flower. I should just think of the lotus flower. And when I think of the lotus flower, my mind is focused there. When my mind is focused on the lotus flower, it is essential to think of the petals, colors, the size of the lotus flower, how beautiful it is, the place where the lotus flower is, and the lotus flower. No other.
I'm focused completely on the lotus flower. And when I'm focused on the lotus flower, that's the tuning thing, no other thought. If the object of meditation and you get tuned, it is one of the wonderful experience ever you have. And this experience will give you a lot of benefits. When I take my sessions in the corporate sectors or the companies, I have seen that they experience the consistent practice of a meditation helps them a lot to have that, the focused approach towards their work, to have that calmness of the mind, It helps them a lot to have a wonderful decision-making power. No other thoughts or no other distractions come when they have to take a decision. Meditation helps you a lot to increase your internal strength, to increase your capacity to do the best of your ability of the world. Meditation helps you in your personal life, professional life. It helps you in your social life. As I was saying you, in the current situation of this pandemic, many people are experiencing this stress. But if you practice meditation consistently, if you practice it thoroughly, with whatever happens every day, you will see the impact of it in your life in no time. Only what matters is the practice. Now, where one should practice meditation? Generally, a place of meditation should be neat, clean. It should be well ventilated. It should not be very claustrophobic. It should not be compact. So generally we practice it in an open space. But if you don't have open space now, we can't go outside. So make sure that your room is neat and clean. You can put a nice candle or some nice essence stick or some room freshener. You can have any object of meditation you want to have when you practice. Contemplating on that object of meditation. A picture of your loved ones, picture of your guru, or picture of your favorite deity gives you a lot of internal support. You can have a dim light or a sunlight. Beautiful sunlight when it comes in your room, it is wonderful. You can also play some nice soothing music, very calming, very relaxing music, and meditate. Now, if you're following any particular meditation technique from particular school, you can always follow their rules. There is nothing wrong with that. Some meditation techniques have pre and post exercise, and that's quite okay. I mean, you can do that. Some meditation techniques have a lot of chantings of certain mantras like Gayatri mantra or Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Accordingly, you can chant. Certain meditation techniques have a visual aspect. As I was telling you, lotus flower, they have visual aspect of the light, flame. They have visual aspect of the what we call it as a various images, various deities images. Now, when we talk about it, these images, it is very essential to understand that taking the most pleasant image and contemplating on that image. It is wonderful way to focus on that image and contemplating on that image and imbibing the qualities of the image, imbibing those qualities, the qualities of the deity like kindness, compassion, unconditionalness, this feeling of the surrender makes a lot of impact on your personal life also. Now, when I talk this, let us practice the meditation practice today. When I say today's meditation practice, I request all of you to sit straight, keep your back straight. Make sure your spine is straight. When you keep your spine straight, palms on the thighs, just once touch your chin to the chest, lift your head up, chin to the chest, lift your head up just to loosen the neck and shoulders, certain stretches. Chin to the chest, lift your head up. Last time, chin to the chest, lift your head up, come to the center. Turn your face to the right side. Turn your face to the left side, to the right, to the left. Last time to the right. Last time to the left. And come to the center. Just to loosen the neck, and now to loosen the shoulders, palms on the thighs only. Just rotate your shoulders. Couple of rounds clockwise. And couple of rounds anti-clockwise. And just loosen the neck and shoulders and keep your spine straight. It is essential to keep your eyes closed when we practice meditation. So make sure your eyes are closed. Palms are on the thighs. Back is straight, spine is straight. Let go all other thoughts and tune with my instructions, tune with my voice. You're sitting straight. You can sit on the chair or cross-legged, however you feel comfortable. Your back is straight. Shoulders are relaxed, spine is straight, and eyes are closed. Watch yourself physically. See if there are any blockages or any resistances. Let go those blockages and resistances. Mentally let go with exhalations. When you let go, connect your mind towards your breath. Observe your breath. Just follow your breath. See the way breath comes. See the way breath goes out. When you observe your breath, do not try to change it. Let the flow of the breath be natural. When the flow of the breath is natural, just watch it. Sometime you will experience number of thoughts will come and go. The thoughts, they come. Sometimes they distract you. It's okay, let go. If your mind gets distracted with the thoughts, bring it back towards you. Shift your awareness gradually in between your eyebrows. Observe between your eyebrows. Visualize a small flame of the light between your eyebrows. Non-flickering, steady, bright flame of the light. The light which you observe, keep that image constantly between the eyebrows. Observe that flame of the light, its brightness, its shape, its color, the aura around the light. And those light rays spread throughout the forehead area, throughout the facial area, throughout the head and neck area. Those light rays travel throughout your body, throughout your spine, till tip of the toes, till tip of the fingers, till top of the head. The light rays spread throughout your body. As those light rays spread throughout the body, every cell of your body gets energized. The light is the purest form of the energy. It removes any kind of blockages, resistances, any kind of disturbances from your body. Every cell of your body gets energized with the light. As the light rays moves throughout the body, let go all the inhibitions, resistances, blockages, and feel that freeness. Feel that lightness. In your mind, think that the vibrations of kindness, compassion, vibrations of the health, stability, vibrations of the prosperity, abundance, vibrations of a universal welfare, universal compassion are coming out from your forehead area. The candle light, the light flame, from the light flame, the vibrations, these positive vibrations are spread. These vibrations spread throughout your body. These vibrations spread around you, around your house, place where you're sitting for meditation, around your locality. The vibrations of health, stability, unconditionalness, kindness, compassion, vibrations of universal brotherhood, oneness spreads throughout your city, country, continent, and covers the entire planet. Bless the planet Earth, our mother planet Earth, with these wonderful vibrations. Let there be kindness, let there be compassion, let there be universal oneness, let there be unconditional love, prosperity for all. Let there be oneness. Just be with yourself for some time in the state of calmness, in the state of meditation. from the depth within, let us chant one round of Om for Om. Inhale. Om. Feel that calmness, steadiness of the mind. Gently rub your palms. Give a nice massage to the face and neck. With few blinks, slowly open your eyes. This was a very small meditation technique we did. For the current situation, I felt it is good to have that positivity within us and around us, which is very much essential. As I said, you can practice meditation anytime. Early morning is preferable or late evening. You can pick up whichever practice, you might want to choose some many practices and see which suits you. It takes a bit of time and effort to put in it, but it is always good to do that. Sometimes you might be practicing some meditation practices from ages, but you want to move ahead, or you want to try something else. That is also nothing, there's nothing wrong in that. When you practice meditation, it is always good to take care of your throughout the day activities. When I say take care means what? Have a moderation in your food. Don't have a heavy food. You don't have to have a heavy meals and, have the meditation. Even post meditation, it is recommended to have a lightness of the body. Drink plenty of the water. Water is very important component of our existence. Have plenty of water. And also watch your thoughts throughout the day. As the cleansing starts happening, sometimes very random thoughts will come in the mind, which is quite natural. Watch them, let them pass by, let them go. And that will help you to reduce the intensity of those thoughts and take your mind to the state of calmness. And then what matters, as I said, that Atma samstham mana kritva na kinchidapi chittayit. When your mind remains in the state of calmness, do not distract it. So post meditation practices, it is good if you keep yourself away from any kind of gadgets, TV, mobile, or any kind of games, any kind of violent activities. You can always engage your energy in some creative process like paintings, music. You can engage your mind in some good reading or even in your yoga practice. Having said that, I'll take a pause here. Thank you, all of you. If you have any questions or any queries, I will contact you on the Facebook page and I will definitely answer you there, as this session of us is not interactive session, but I will be definitely reaching you through the Facebook page. But again, thank you all of you. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Namaste.